Good morning / afternoon / evening, everyone. Let's take a moment, breathe in, feel the energy around you. Not every presence in your life is a blessing. Some come dressed as lessons, painful, costly, and draining. Now, I'm not talking about disagreements, misunderstandings, or a bad day. No, I'm talking about something darker, someone darker. The kind of presence that turns light into shadow, love into control, and trust into a tool of destruction. You've seen it before. Maybe you felt it, that subtle unease, that quiet manipulation, that lingering sense of loss. Every time she walks away, she walks in like a dream, soft-spoken, gentle, and oh so charming. At first, she seems like the kind of person you trust with your secrets, your thoughts, your heart. She listens intently, remembers the little details, and always knows the right thing to say. Her kindness seems effortless, her generosity unmatched, but let me tell you something. Not all sweetness is genuine. Some smiles are just well-rehearsed disguises. Some kind words are merely tools of deception. At the beginning, she does everything right. She's supportive, understanding, and patient. She'll make you feel seen, valued, and appreciated in ways you may have never felt before. And that's the trick. That's the hook. Because this isn't real kindness. It's a transaction, an investment. She's building something, control, leverage, dependency. Every act of warmth is calculated. She doesn't do it because she cares. She does it because she needs you to trust her. And when you do, that's when the mask starts to slip. You'll notice it in small ways at first. The once ever-present kindness starts to fade when you're no longer giving her what she wants. The patience runs out the moment you question her. The generosity turns to guilt tripping when you don't reciprocate exactly as expected. The same woman who once showered you with compliments will now use those same words to cut you down, subtly, carefully, but intentionally. She's not who you thought she was. The mask she wore so well was never meant to stay on forever. It was just a way to get you close enough that when she finally took it off, you wouldn't run. You'd already be too deep, too entangled, too unsure of what was real and what was manipulation. That's the danger of an evil woman. She doesn't come with a warning sign. She doesn't show up as a villain. She enters your life like a savior, a confidant, a friend. She doesn't take from you immediately. She gives first, makes you feel safe, makes you believe, and then she takes. And by the time you realize what's happening, you're no longer standing next to a kind and caring woman. You're standing next to someone who's been planning your downfall since the very first hello. There's a difference between someone who lifts you up and someone who pulls your strings. A truly supportive person encourages your growth, your independence, your dreams. But an evil woman, she doesn't inspire, she controls. She doesn't motivate, you move when she tells you to. At first, you won't see it because she won't make demands outright. No, she's too clever for that. Instead, she makes you want to do what she wants. She uses praise when you follow her lead, disappointment when you don't. She rewards obedience, punishes resistance. At first, it feels like she believes in you, like she wants the best for you. She'll say things like, I just know what's best for you. Trust me, I have your best interests at heart. I wouldn't let you do something that would hurt you, but pay attention, because when you start making choices that don't serve her, suddenly her support vanishes. Maybe you want to take on a new opportunity. She finds a way to make you doubt yourself. Maybe you want to spend time with certain people. She convinces you they don't really care about you. Maybe you make a decision without consulting her. She suddenly grows distant, making you feel like you did something wrong. This is not love. This is not care. This is control, wrapped in the illusion of concern. And the more you listen to her, the more you shrink. The things you once wanted, you start second guessing them. Your instincts, they become clouded by her opinions. Your decisions, they start to feel like they're not even yours anymore. That's because they aren't. You see, a manipulative woman doesn't need to yell, doesn't need to argue. She plays a different game, a quiet, subtle, and dangerous one. She creates an environment where you stop trusting yourself and start trusting only her. And once she has that power, she uses it to mold you into exactly what she needs. She isolates you from your own intuition. She conditions you to seek her approval. She turns your independence into dependence. And the worst part, you might not even realize it's happening, because she doesn't control you with force. She controls you with suggestion, with guilt, with subtle emotional consequences. You start avoiding things that upset her, even if they bring you joy. You start changing little things about yourself just to keep the peace. And before you know it, you're living a life shaped by her desires, not your own. But here's the truth. Love does not control. Real care does not manipulate. Someone who truly wants the best for you will push you toward your dreams, not steer you toward their own agenda. They will empower you to trust yourself, not make you feel like you need them to function. So ask yourself, are you being guided or are you being handled? Because if she truly cared, she wouldn't need to control you. She would simply stand beside you and watch you soar. There are people who bring peace when they enter a room. Their presence feels like a breath of fresh air, light, calming, safe. And then there are those who bring storms. Not all storms come with thunder. Some arrive quietly, disguised as whispers, misunderstandings, and unexplained tension. Some don't rage openly. They settle into your life in the form of constant stress, confusion, and conflict. And when an evil woman is next to you, chaos is never far behind. At first, you may not even connect the dots. You'll notice that things in your life feel off. You're more anxious, more exhausted. You're dealing with problems that never seemed to exist before. You're constantly putting out fires that strangely only started burning once she entered your life. But when you stop to look closer, you'll realize the common denominator is her. Conflict follows her like a shadow. It's a pattern. She never takes responsibility for anything that goes wrong. It's always someone else's fault. There's always some drama unfolding, always some issue to deal with, always some reason why peace can never seem to last. She argues with friends, but it's never her fault. She has issues with family, but they're always the problem. She's had fake people betray her in the past, and now she's just protecting herself. At first, you might believe her. Maybe she is unlucky. Maybe people do mistreat her. But after a while, you'll see the truth. She creates the chaos. She thrives in it. She is the spark that ignites every fire. Some people spread warmth. She spreads tension. You'll notice how small misunderstandings turn into full-blown fights, how innocent moments become sources of conflict, how people who once got along suddenly seem at odds, all because of her influence. And let's be clear, she's not always the one directly starting the fire. No, she's smarter than that. Sometimes she stirs the pot quietly, a passive-aggressive comment here, a secret whisper there, a twisted version of the truth just enough to set people against each other, a few words said in confidence that were never meant to stay private. She loves division because divided people are easier to control. And what about you? Well, at first you'll try to keep the peace. You'll reassure her, defend her, try to explain things away. You'll think, maybe if I just handle this differently, things will calm down, but they won't. Because the issue isn't the people around her. The issue isn't you. The issue is her. She doesn't want peace. She doesn't function in peace. She needs chaos like she needs air. She keeps you emotionally exhausted when you're constantly surrounded by drama. You have no energy left to focus on yourself. And that's exactly how she wants it. The more exhausted you are, the easier you are to manipulate. The more stressed you are, the more you rely on her. The more distracted you are by conflict, the less likely you are to see what's really happening. Because here's the truth. Peace gives people clarity, and clarity would expose her. So she keeps you busy fixing, busy explaining, busy cleaning up messes that you never made. Chaos is not love. Chaos is not normal. If you feel like you're walking on eggshells, constantly trying to avoid the next explosion, pay attention. If life seemed simpler, calmer, and happier before she arrived, pay attention. A good presence in your life brings stability. A toxic one brings storms. So ask yourself, are you with someone who brings you peace, or are you with someone who only brings you problems? Because you deserve stillness, you deserve clarity, you deserve a life where love is not measured by how much chaos you can endure. And if she can't exist without creating conflict, then maybe, just maybe, she shouldn't exist in your life at all. A strong person is difficult to control. A person with a support system is nearly impossible to manipulate. An evil woman knows this. She understands that as long as you have people who genuinely love and support you, you will always have a voice of reason whispering in your ear, telling you when something feels off. You will have someone reminding you of who you were before she arrived. Someone pulling you back to the truth before you lose yourself completely. She can't have that. So what does she do? She isolates you. Carefully, methodically, and most of all, quietly. At first, she doesn't tell you to cut people off outright. No, that would be too obvious. Instead, she plants the seed. I don't think they really care about you the way I do. Have you noticed how they always seem jealous when you talk about us? I don't think they have your best interests at heart. It's just a vibe I get. Something feels off about them. And you don't even realize you're being manipulated. You start looking at the people around you differently. You start questioning their intentions. You start withdrawing, not because she told you to, but because she guided you to that conclusion. But she doesn't stop there. Turning people against you, this is her real power. She doesn't just isolate you from others. She isolates others from you. How does she do it? By twisting your words, exaggerating small misunderstandings, or outright lying to create tension between you and the people who care about you. Maybe she tells your friends that you've been talking behind their backs. Maybe she subtly changes details of a story to make you look bad. Maybe she pretends to be the victim of something you supposedly did, forcing people to choose sides. She plays both sides, feeding different versions of the truth to different people. And the worst part, she does it so subtly that by the time you realize what's happened, the damage is already done. People start distancing themselves. You notice fewer invitations, fewer messages, fewer moments of connection. And when you finally reach out, you find that bridges have already been burned, ones you never intended to destroy. And who's the only person left by your side? Her. She wanted this, she needed this, because now you have no one else to turn to but her. She controls the narrative. An evil woman understands that perception is power. If she controls how people see you, she controls you. So she creates stories, half-truths, exaggerations, outright fabrications. She tells people what they want to hear, what will keep them on her side. She plays innocent, pretending she's just concerned, while she slowly poisons your reputation. And the worst part, by the time you realize what's happening, you're too exhausted to fight back. You're alone, you're confused, and that's exactly where she wants you. Rebuilding after the wreckage. By the time you finally see the truth, so much damage has been done. Friendships have crumbled, trust has been broken, and even though you want to reach out, a part of you wonders, will they even believe me? That's what makes this so devastating. But here's the truth. Real connections don't just disappear. The people who genuinely care about you, they will come back when they see the truth. It might take time, but they will. And when they do, you'll realize that you were never truly alone. The evil woman just made you feel that way. So if you feel like your relationships are slowly slipping away, if you notice more conflict than connection, if you find yourself standing in isolation, ask yourself, who benefits from this? Because if there is someone in your life who gains power by keeping you disconnected, by feeding you doubts, by making you feel like the only person you can trust is them, then they are not on your side. And they never were. Words have power. They can heal, they can uplift, they can inspire, but they can also wound, manipulate, and destroy. And when an evil woman is next to you, her words are not just casual conversations, they are weapons. At first, her words feel like honey, sweet, smooth, perfectly placed to make you feel special. She knows how to speak to your heart, how to make you feel like the most important person in the world. She builds you up with compliments, encourages you, and makes you believe she has your best interests at heart. But over time, something changes. That same mouth that once spoke love and admiration now delivers subtle insults, quiet put-downs, and phrases that make you question yourself. And the worst part, she doesn't do it in an obvious way. No, her venom is far more sophisticated. The subtle art of dismantling you. She doesn't call you names outright. That would be too easy to recognize. Instead, she poisons your confidence slowly, piece by piece. You used to be more fun. What happened to you? Now you're wondering, am I boring? I mean, it's okay if you like that outfit. I just think something else would look better. Suddenly you feel self-conscious about your clothes. It's cute how hard you try, but you don't have to push yourself so much. Wow, you actually did something right for once. A joke or a jab? You're not sure anymore. She disguises insults as humor. She calls her criticisms constructive. She makes you feel like you're being too sensitive when you react. And the worst part, she says it all with a smile. So instead of confronting her, you start internalizing her words, you start believing them, you start shrinking, turning words into weapons. An evil woman doesn't just attack you directly. She attacks your relationships, your reputation, and your self-worth with carefully chosen words. 1, words that isolate you. She will plant doubts in your mind about the people around you. I don't think they really respect you. They only come around when they need something. Haven't you noticed? You're too nice. People walk all over you. Before you know it, you start withdrawing from friends and family, questioning their loyalty, suspecting betrayal where none exists. And who's left by your side? Her. 2 words that control you. She uses words to make you second guess yourself. You're just being emotional. Now you doubt your feelings. You're overthinking it. Now you're afraid to trust your instincts. You always mess things up when you try to do it your way. Now you hesitate before making decisions. The goal? To make you doubt yourself so much that you rely on her for guidance. 3 words that destroy your confidence. She will compare you to others, subtly making you feel inadequate. Wow, did you see how great she looks? She really knows how to take care of herself, implying that you just got promoted again. Some people just have that natural talent, suggesting that you don't. I just feel like you could be so much more if you tried harder. To make you feel like you're never enough. These words may not seem harmful in isolation, but over time they break you down. You start feeling like no matter what you do, it's never enough. Gaslighting, making you question, react. She says something cruel, but when you react, she laughs it off. Oh, come on, I was just joking. She denies ever saying something, even when you know she did. I never said that. You must be imagining things. She twists your words against you. I can't believe you're making me the bad guy. You always take things the wrong way. Maybe you are overreacting. Maybe you are remembering things wrong. Maybe it really is your fault. And that's exactly what she wants. The aftermath, words that leave scars long after she's gone, her words remain. You find yourself second guessing every decision. You replay conversations in your head, wondering if you were the problem. You struggle to trust yourself because her voice still lingers in the back of your mind, whispering doubts and insecurities. That is the true damage of an evil woman's words. They don't just hurt in the moment, they stay with you, shaping the way you see yourself long after she's no longer around. How to break free. If you've noticed this pattern in someone's words, pay attention. A loving person's words make you feel stronger, not smaller. A supportive person's words build you up, not tear you down. A true friend or partner speaks with honesty, not manipulation. If someone's words consistently leave you feeling drained, doubtful, or diminished, that is not love. That is not care. That is control. That is destruction. That is venom. And the only way to stop poison from spreading is to remove it from your life completely, because you deserve words that heal, words that encourage, and words that remind you of your strength, not words that slowly, quietly, and deliberately tear you apart. Love is supposed to be a sanctuary, a safe space where you feel seen, valued, and at peace. It is supposed to be the force that nurtures you, helps you grow, and brings out the best in you. But when you are standing next to an evil woman, love is no longer love. It is a weapon. It is a trap. It is destruction wrapped in a beautiful disguise. She doesn't come to you as a villain. She comes as everything you ever wanted. She studies you, your dreams, your fears, your insecurities, and she builds her act around them. At first, she gives you the illusion of love. She showers you with attention, praises you, makes you feel like you are the most important person in the world. She mirrors your desires, makes you feel understood in a way no one else ever has. It feels magical. It feels fated. But it's not love. It's bait. Because the moment she knows she has you, the moment you are invested, the shift begins. Love turned into a tool for control. A real loving relationship is built on mutual respect and trust. But her version of love, it comes with conditions. If you really loved me, you would do this for me. Why are you talking to them? Do you care about them more than me? I don't ask for much, just your loyalty. But clearly, I can't even get that. She starts using love as a form of manipulation, making you feel guilty anytime you don't do what she wants. She makes you prove your love again and again until eventually you start sacrificing pieces of yourself just to keep the peace. And before you realize it, the love you once cherished feels suffocating. She breaks you, then patches you up. One of her most dangerous tactics is the cycle of destruction and repair. She tears you down, whether through words, manipulation, or silent treatment, making you feel weak, insecure, and desperate for her approval. And just when you start doubting yourself, just when you are at your lowest, she comes back with kindness. I didn't mean what I said. You know I love you, right? I was just upset. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. See, we always make things work. We're meant to be. In that moment, you feel relief. You feel like things will get better. And for a little while, they do, until the next time she decides to push you down again. This cycle repeats over and over, trapping you in a whirlwind of pain and hope, making it harder and harder to leave, because every time she destroys you, she also becomes the one to comfort you. And that twisted pattern keeps you tied to her. Jealousy disguises passion. She wants you all to herself, not because she loves you, but because she needs control. At first, her jealousy seems sweet, like she just cares deeply. I don't like the way they look at you. I just want to spend time with you. Why do you need anyone else? I can't stand the thought of losing you. But soon, what seemed like passion turns into possession. She starts monitoring your actions, questioning your friendships, making you feel like you are betraying her anytime you show affection to someone else. Her jealousy is not a sign of love. It is a warning sign of control. And once she has convinced you that her possessiveness is proof of her deep feelings, she owns you. The slow erasure of who you are when love is real, it makes you more of yourself, not less. But an evil woman's love, it does the opposite. Little by little, she changes you. You stop doing things you once loved because she made you feel guilty about them. You avoid certain people because she convinced you they were bad for you. You change the way you dress, speak, and behave just to avoid conflict. Before you know it, you don't recognize yourself anymore. And the saddest part, you might not even realize it's happening until it's too late. The moment of realization, eventually there comes a moment where you see the truth. Maybe it's when you hear how you talk about yourself now, how much self-doubt and insecurity have crept into your thoughts. Maybe it's when someone from your past reminds you of who you used to be before she entered your life. Maybe it's when you feel a deep exhaustion, a quiet knowing that this isn't what love is supposed to feel like. That is the moment you must wake up. Because love should never feel like walking on eggshells. Love should never feel like losing yourself. Love should never feel like pain with brief moments of relief. If her love has brought you more suffering than joy, if her love has cost you your peace, your confidence, your freedom, then it is not love. It is destruction in disguise. And the only way to reclaim yourself is to walk away from it completely. Because real love does not break you, real love builds you. Evil rarely presents itself as something obvious. It does not come with a warning label or a flashing red light. Instead, it disguises itself in sweet words, affectionate gestures, and carefully crafted illusions, making it harder to see until you are already trapped in its web. An evil woman does not destroy you all at once. She does it slowly, through subtle manipulation, quiet isolation, and a steady erosion of your confidence. She poisons your world, but she does it so gently that by the time you realize what has happened, you are already standing in the wreckage. But here's the truth. You don't have to stay there. Because no matter how much damage she has caused, no matter how much she has broken you, twisted your reality, or made you feel like you can't exist without her, you can reclaim yourself. How? By recognizing the signs. If love feels more like a prison than a sanctuary, if you feel more controlled